damage pattern looks like, or basically where someone of Mr. O'Keefe's height arm would contact the rear tail light.
And also the family of the perpetrator. Going forward, we Mogans are choosing to put our energy and focus into honoring Maddie's too short life.
I mean, like you can't remember my name, I don't remember.
What is no big deal to us is a big deal to these litigants, right?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Source and Order. I go by the name of Heinz, your friendly neighborhood ketchup man, and thank you so much for tuning back in for another episode of Source and Order on Ketchup Court. Thank you so much for tuning in, because we are continuing our coverage, our replay of the Monica Sementilli trial. We are now on week 7 because it has been a massive journey to get here. You have been seeing my reaction unfold, even though I do watch the trial to bring it all here. It's still a surprise to me, the twists and turns that is happening in this particular case. And I really got to really see something interesting as it seems that like the prosecution have rested their case and the defense is starting to put on their case in chief. So I got to hear Baker's testimony as well as the end of Mitzi Roberts' testimony. I don't think she's finished yet. I think she's going to come back. And I don't know if this is one of those scheduling things that happen, because I remember James, one of the witnesses from the defense, coming in to testify before Mitzi doing it. So I don't know if it's a scheduling thing, but I did get to see I forgot her name, Monica's sister come in and testify in defense of Monica. So I'm getting the impression that we are firmly in the territory where the defense are going to put on their case in chief. And I got to learn quite a bit of the background with Monica Sementilli and Robert Baker. But before we get into the case, before we get into the week 7, we are now on week 7 recap of the Monica Sementilli trial, we have to go straight into Ketchup Squeeze, because it's that time of the month where I need to get your input on the next case that we should cover. We already have Christina Ricci that you guys picked to cover MA versus Christina Ricci, but I want one more case so that we can create kind of a backlog going, so that every time I have a case, at least a couple of cases that you guys might want me to dive into, we can vote on it. But this month, I should say, outside of Christina Ricci, we're gonna go into. We are also looking at, and I brought it up last time. This particular case is the case of Christopher Bahau. Well, it's a case. It's I believe it's he had. He was sleeping at night one time, and he was having visions of beating his girlfriend, and he just doesn't know how it happened. I don't know if it's a mental insanity play or anything like that, but that really caught my eye. So that's one of the cases that we are going to be doing, and I'll be doing a poll where you guys can vote on these cases. So that's Christina Bahau, and then we have a very interesting case of concealment, because murdering to conceal, we voted on her. Well, she was part of the options last time, and I want to bring it back because I'll admit this case really does intrigue me, because I want to know why she did what she did when her husband discovered her Ponzi scheme. I do know that she was found guilty. So is Christopher Bahau, and she was, of course, killed him because she was trying to cover up a crime. And and I want to know if you guys would want me to look at this case and then we go in a replay. Let me know when we vote. Then we have GA versus Melody Faris is a very interesting case in the sense that it was I'm not sure if it was if you can call it a conspiracy to kill, but it did divide opinions when I did see discussions about it. I never watched it, as with all my cases. I would never bring a case that I have seen, but this is one of those cases that I want to know why. Why is my question. So it's similar to what I'm asking here with Monica Sementilli. Why is she being accused if she wasn't at the scene? And then it unraveled before us. It sounds similar to something like this particular case. So, and then we have the final case, and it's a challenge for me because I have never done a mental insanity case live. So I don't know. It's one of those weaknesses of mine, covering mental insanity cases, because it's not like you're trying to catch someone in contradictions or anything like that, or trying to find out their motive. It's not always apparent, especially with cases with cases like this. It's a bit more complex, and I kind of want to challenge myself a little bit. But yeah, she was accused of killing her stepson. I think the stepson was like 3 or 4 years old, and she is pleading that she was insane at the time. I think she was found guilty, but I really want to know I really want to see how it played out. So those are the cases. Those are the cases that you guys can vote on. So let me run the poll right now. So and as I'm putting the poll up, make sure you guys do vote. Let me know what you're thinking, and then we're gonna go straight into the Monica Sementilli trial. Let's go.
Now, in all fairness, how old was the minor?
How is that fair?
Well, I mean,
said in all fairness.
No. I guess what I'm saying.
I think it's fair, whatever age.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
But is it, what was it?
I murdered him because I wanted her.
Well, you kind of had her already, but not the way you wanted, or what?
Absolutely. I didn't have her the way I wanted her. I wanted to have easier access. I wanted her to be around me and with me.
Okay, so we are here. We are here where material girl Madonna herself, Monica Sementilli, is witnessing, or at least is going to face her boyfriend, or her person that she was having an affair with, Robert Baker. And she is going to hear his testimony. But before we do get into his testimony, because we are now on day 26 or to day 28 of the testimonies covering, and I don't want to rush into Baker's testimony. I do want to go back into Mitzi Roberts' testimony, because we did talk about this when Austin took the stand. I didn't go into the context that Mitzi was providing. I want to bring that context back now that Christopher Austin has completed his testimony, like I said I would. So we are the order that the prosecution had basically put up was, before Baker testified, it was Mitzi, then James Fillmore, then Mitzi. But like I said, I'm gonna start with Mitzi's testimony before Austin had basically given his testimony. That was a complete turning point in this whole trial, because we got to learn so much. Like, there was a first attempt on Fabio's life, for example, and we got to learn so much outside of just the first attempt. It was also how he was feeling about being part of this scheme, and the fact that he seemed, to me anyway, a very well adjusted person. So I didn't expect him to be the second hitman for this particular job. Baker I kind of expected, because I was hearing from the opening statements and from the comments that I've seen online when I was looking this case up. He was a convicted felon. We got to hear that. we got to hear that on the opening statements. But him, he kind of surprised me a little. But before we get into his testimony, like I said, let's go into Mitzi Roberts' testimony and see and hear what she has to say in regards to, give the context into what Christopher Austin was testifying to. Let's go in and take a listen.
And through that investigation, there were several names that came up.
Okay.
One of them was Alfred Birdsong.
That's the individual that we heard about from Roger Brown when you were here last week.
Correct.
Who lives in Las Vegas.
Yes. There was another individual named LaShane Holmes, who I knew that Robert Baker had met while they were incarcerated together, that lived in the Orange County area. He contacted him on the day that the crime was committed and also stayed with him on several occasions after the murder. There was, and then interesting that what we found was a Facebook message that was sent on, I believe it was January 25th, from Robert Baker's Facebook account to an individual named Christopher Austin. And when I started looking into that, it was very rare that they communicated via the Facebook Messenger app.
When you say they, who are you referring to?
Robert Baker and Christopher Austin. There was only a couple messages, and I believe the last one before the one on the 25th of January in 2017, they hadn't communicated via that Facebook Messenger since I think the end of 2015. So it was concerning. And so we started to look into Christopher Austin as a suspect at that time.
And that's how they got into Christopher Austin. And then we got to learn from, I believe it was Corey Farrell's testimony, where he gave testimony in regards to learning about the traffic citation. So all of this originated because of a Facebook post, Facebook message that these two were sharing at one point. And because Baker was a person of interest, therefore it was a good lead to follow on and see what they can explore from that. And now we got to, they also talked about burner phones, and we already know from Corey Farrell the value of burner phones because not Corey Farrell, sorry, I believe it was Cyree. I believe it was Cyree that gave testimony in regards to the burner phones that was being used in this particular murder plot, and they were able to trace it back. They were able to trace Christopher Austin purchasing a burner phone as well and keeping in contact with Baker. I believe it was after the murder had taken place. Let's go in and check and listen to that piece of pivotal testimony, because I've always wondered how the burner phones is connecting everyone. I know it connects to Christopher Austin, and I know it connects to Baker, but I want to know, I'm dying to know the role that Alfred Birdsong plays in this.
Ours for that phone number were already in the records. So I just sort of looked through them, and since the date was just a few days after the murder, I wanted to see who was the first person that Robert Baker had contact with on this burner phone. Because when you get a burner phone, it's so that you can talk to people that you don't want law enforcement typically to know you're talking to.
Okay.
And I found a number I didn't recognize. I don't recall the entire number, but I know that the area code was 314. There's really not, if not any, there's very few numbers within Robert Baker's cell phone records with a 314 area code. And when I ran the number, I found that it was another prepaid burner phone that was purchased in Anchorage, Alaska. And that's when that was a big find for me, because when I was doing the research into Christopher Austin and I couldn't connect him coming to the States from Fayetteville, and then I remember doing some more research into him, and I was like, well, he doesn't even live in Fayetteville, he lives in Anchorage, and so that's what kind of led me off of him. But when I found out that there was now this prepaid burner phone that somebody had purchased in Anchorage, Alaska, that was the only name in my investigation that I knew was connected to Alaska.
Okay.
Damn. Looking at this in hindsight, they could have actually got away with it if it wasn't for that purchase of the burner phone. They could have actually got away with it. And, well, in the sense of they would have still been arrested. I think that's clear. But I do think, I've said it before, I do think bringing Christopher Austin is what secured this, because I think you also have the influence, like with the Viber messages, all of those things. But if they had let slip, and I really believe that the fact that Christopher Austin's testimony revealed the whole murder attempt on the 23rd to be a murder of opportunity, because it wouldn't have happened if not for the 22nd not going to plan, because everything was on the fly then. They had to rent the car. We went through that on the previous episode, actually episode 10. They had to rent the vehicle from Enterprise Rent-A-Car, the Nissan Versa, in which Christopher Austin was essentially ticketed when Baker was trying to get him to drive to a restaurant and meet up with him, so that he can take him to the airport. All of those, so many things had happened that if they didn't get that burner phone, it definitely may have gone off with a hit, without a hitch. Monica may have got a not guilty verdict, because when you remove Christopher from the equation, you don't get the connection to Baker and Monica's involvement with Baker, which we'll definitely go into it. I will definitely expand more on that when we get to Baker's testimony, because his testimony kind of does shed a light why that's the case, because it seemed to me like they had a plan and they're sticking to the plan, which is why I believe Curtis, I forget his name, Mr. Bardarama. I just call him Bardarama, not Kurt. I was thinking of Curtis Davis. Anyway, Mr. Detective Bardarama, his testimony about Monica's and Baker's movements when they were in jail. Sorry, when they were in holding. I believe it's called jail. But anyway, how they were acting is very important to showing this connection, if it makes sense, because it shows that they were always gonna keep their story to one way and one way only, and it's only Christopher Austin that came in like a bull in a china shop and just destroyed everything, because I don't think they banked on him even being found, in my opinion. But let's continue with the testimony. When was this phone found?
And that particular number, that was 31429.
Correct.
Okay. So given that you had been
Not found, purchased. I'm gonna say purchased.
looking at various people and there was only one individual who was in Alaska, then what did you do with respect to that prepaid burner phone purchased in Alaska?
So then I researched that phone and I found out that it was purchased on, I want to say January 30th of 2017 from, I believe it was a T-Mobile within the Anchorage Mall. And when I researched the address at the Anchorage Mall, it was about 6 miles from where I knew Chris Austin was living at the time that phone was purchased.
Okay.
The phone was purchased on the 30th. They had gotten away with it It's after the murder, and it was still purchased so that they can keep talking. What would have triggered this? What would have triggered this? We already know from the previous testimonies that the investigators were having their discussions from the 20. They were already at the house from the 23rd. There were the insurance agents were, sorry, not the Weller employees anyway. That has to do with Fabio's benefits, all of those things. This was being ironed out from the 25th to the 27th, around that time. So, what could have, in my opinion, what may have, I have no idea, but what may have stored is, I want to know exactly when the insurance, because I don't know when that, whole block, that all we must not pay Monica her insurance. I don't know when that happened. I know that the children were paid, but not Monica. So I want to know whether that's the trigger for the 30th to get Austin the burner phone, and then they continue talking. I have no idea. I do not know.
And so then what did you do? Did you start doing some records checks and things of that nature?
Records checks, I noticed that during the time that virtually the only person that Chris Austin communicated with on that burner phone was Robert Baker. And on the once he purchased that burner phone, and he never communicated with Robert Baker again on their regular cell phones, which they had communicated frequently as a way to communicate because they lived in different states. But after the murder, they never communicated on their regular cell phones again, and only communicated through these burner phones.
Okay. And so once you were able to determine that, then what did you do with respect to trying to corroborate any evidence that you had that would suggest that Christopher Austin was one of your outstanding suspects?
So I wrote a series of search warrants trying to place him. It was important to try and place him, of course, in Los Angeles during the time of the murder. I found out that he had since moved to Vancouver, Washington, but I was really focused on that Alaska time period. So I wrote a series of search warrants to the airlines trying to find a manifest that had Christopher Austin on it, and coming into LAX on January 22nd during the time period where we know that Robert Baker picked somebody up.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into that testimony in which she gave details of this flight plan that Baker had made, but things have changed. Things change the minute that these flight plans. He had boarded the flight
To Anchorage, Alaska. Christopher Austin had purchased the ticket to return to Anchorage, Alaska on the 24th. It appeared that at around 11:30 at night, he
On which day?
on the day of the murder, on the 23rd at about 11 at night, he was at LAX. He went up to the ticket counter and actually paid $180 to switch his ticket and fly out that evening,
So
that night.
when you say at the ticket counter, you're now talking about at LAX.
He's at LAX at the ticket counter to Alaskan Airlines, and he changed his flight that was scheduled from the 24th so that he could fly out that night late on the 23rd.
So we know why that was the case because of what he just did. He testified to that on when we were going through his testimony. He said he could not stay in the place anymore because he was kind of he didn't attribute this word, but I'll just say it. He was traumatized by what has happened, couldn't live with himself, etc., and then gone on the flight to basically go home. I believe that's why perhaps they met at the restaurant, because I have a feeling that they were supposed to stay at the house and get the whole thing done and then fly out on the 24th. It wasn't supposed to be the way it did, the way it happened. That's what I personally think anyway. So let's continue on with the testimony and see what more comes out.
Did you also attempt to gather any phone records to see if that might assist you in?
I did.
And with respect to Mr. Austin?
Yes.
And what did you learn from a review then of his records once you narrowed down this flight from Alaska through Seattle to LAX on the 22nd, and then we have him on 11:30 at night on the 23rd at LAX changing his ticket?
His phone appeared to be, from the records, turned off. There is no, his phone is not communicating with any cell towers the entire time until we know that his flight landed back in Anchorage in the early morning of the 24th. Then the phone came back on and hits on a tower in Anchorage, Alaska.
Okay, that's what I wanted from that testimony. You get the idea that he just that he was probably, in my opinion, he was probably told to do that, because I don't think, I mean, in the state that he was describing himself, I don't think he would have done that on his own. I think somebody may have told him, in this case would be Baker, hey, make sure that your phone is off. Then we got to hear this, and this is the part I really wanted to get to. We got to hear testimony in regards that provides a lot of context in regards to what Christopher Austin was testifying to in regard about going to Vegas in 2016. Christopher doesn't actually know Monica. We know that from his testimony. He has only met her once at Racquetball. I think that was probably sometime in December, January. I'm not too sure. I can't remember his testimony around that too well. I'm not even sure if a time frame was even given. That being said, they did meet. Well, there was a meeting in Vegas, or he did travel to Vegas, and we're gonna hear testimony around that.
Utilized by law enforcement is a tactic utilized by law enforcement where we place the target or the suspect that we're looking at into a cell with a Perkins, what we refer to as a Perkins agent, which could either be a law enforcement undercover officer or an actual undercover person, citizen, civilian, that acts as a Perkins agent.
Okay. And so you were looking to do that, but weren't able to, based on the status of your investigation at that point?
Correct. I didn't have enough evidence at that point for a filing and or to get a arrest warrant.
Now, when you were investigating Christopher Austin, did you also learn that he had traveled?
I went too far ahead.
With Robert Baker to Las Vegas in July of 2016.
I did.
That I did not know. I did not know. I may have missed it, probably have, but I did not know he was traveling with Baker to in 2016 to Vegas. I thought he went on his own.
And did you obtain, again, flight information for Austin, where he flew into Los Angeles, and then he and Baker at the end of July of 2016 drove to Las Vegas?
That was information that came in.
Sustained.
How did you learn about Baker and Austin going to Las Vegas at the end of July of 2016?
During preparations for a trial that was continued in April, I re-interviewed a witness in this case that gave us that information, and then I researched into trying to prove that they actually did go.
And so did you obtain, once again, flight records for Mr. Austin flying into LAX?
I did not. I believe the investigative team did after me.
Okay. And then did you also speak to one of the detectives that was, before you retired, assigned to Robbery Homicide Division that works with the FBI through a unit called CAST?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask this detective in order to confirm this trip by Austin and Baker to Las Vegas in July of 2016 to look at cell tower records as to where Baker and Austin went?
Yes.
And from that, the graphics that she produced, did that show Baker and Austin driving to Las Vegas?
Sustained.
Can you tell us what type of records you looked at that confirmed that?
We looked at I provided her with all of the cell phone records for Monica Baker, Christopher Austin, I believe Al Birdsong, and Chris Austin.
Monica Baker.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Robert Baker, Monica Sementilli, Christopher Austin, and I believe Alfred Birdsong as well.
So that's why, I just realized, that's why they were impeaching, objecting on foundation, because they need to have that avenue to impeach her. So, because she said that she did the data whole thing, that means that if the defense has something contradictory for that, they can now impeach her properly because it's now properly introduced into the record.
Okay.
And asked her to utilize those records and the data that came from the phone companies to try and determine if they traveled to Las Vegas.
Okay. And then
during
did
that
she...
time period.
I'm sorry.
During that time period.
All right. And this was Tanya Edquist, Detective Tanya Edquist?
Correct.
And then did she produce some graphics from those phone records indicating that all four of them were in Las Vegas during this July of 2016?
Sustained.
Maybe, personally, I didn't get to see these graphics. I didn't actually get to see. I don't think we heard testimony about this all through this trial. So maybe they're going to bring it back, because I do think that they're going to provide a rebuttal testimony after the defense is done. Maybe they're going to introduce it there, because I don't think there is testimony around it so far. I'm not even sure if they can go beyond the scope of what was already introduced from the defense. I'm not sure if it's like a cross-examination. Anyway, but I do want to point out this main fact that she did testify to, which was a really pivotal testimony where the burner phones and the Viber communications coincided between the burner phone coincided with the burner phone that was used by Austin and Baker coincided with the Viber communication between Monica and Baker. Let's listen.
From January 11th to January 13th, there is a spike in phone activity via texting and phone calling between Robert Baker and Christopher Austin, between Christopher Austin and Albert Birdsong, and between Robert Baker and Alfred Birdsong, which was interesting to me.
Sustained.
So you saw a spike in activity between the January 11th and January 13th, 2017 timeline, correct?
Yes, and there was also, during that time, the Viber messaging going back and forth between Robert Baker and Monica Sementilli.
Your Honor, I have a timeline for the period of January 11th to January 13th of 2017. It is
So what's Birdsong, Austin Baker, and a spike of communication? This would have been around 11th to January 13th, I think. I think that's what you testified to. And this was a week before the murder. This is just showing the premeditation element, and it goes into what was shown with the intent part, because that part was definitely proven when we went through it last week in regards to that last message that she sent to Baker on the viral message. We don't know what it says, but that message happening the moment, I think it was 3:46 or 3:36, one of the times, the Baker goes into the house, if memory serves, at around 4 o'clock, 4:18, around that time, and you can see Monica watching the whole thing happen from her phone. Insane.
11 pages in length. Can we come to sidebar instead? This timeline of dates between January 11th of 2017 and the last page, it looks like it ends at line 445, which is on January 13th of 2017, 1 minute before midnight, before it turns January 14th.
Yes.
Timeline, what you're referring to in terms of the communications between the defendant and Robert Baker using Viber, and Baker using his regular cell phone to communicate with Christopher Austin's regular cell phone.
Yes.
And you indicated that there were also communications that involved Al Birdsong.
Yes.
She also gave testimony in regards to there being money being withdrawn in Alaska at the tail end of July 2016, which in my opinion inferred to a likelihood that this was when Christopher Austin had accepted the job. I did not hear testimony around that. Maybe I'm not remembering too well that testimony, but I can't. That's not ringing a bell if that question was even asked. But she also gave testimony about a voicemail that was left at the Sementilli residence on the 9th of March, 2017, around 1:41 and 6:59 p.m. So I haven't heard this voicemail either. So I don't know when they're going to give this evidence, because it's not just the only person that spoke about a voicemail. I think there was another. I think one of the employees, I believe it was Weller employees. I'm not too sure, but they also left a voicemail that was sent. Well, he sent it to the detectives, and we haven't heard the voicemail. So I don't know when that's gonna come, but I'm looking forward to it. So fast forward now to this particular week. This week, when Mitzi Roberts was back on the stand, she goes on to give testimony about the trip to Boston. So this was when she was recalled as a witness before James Fillmore went on. So this is week 7 that we are now in. We gone from week 6 before she had testified, before Austin took the stand. That was at the start on day 21. Now we're here on day 26, which is week week 7. Let's hear what she has to say, because on this direct examination, she gave a crucial, and I mean pivotal testimony in regards to, it was a pivotal detail that really reveals Austin's sorry, not Austin's travel plan, my bad, Fabio's travel plans on the week of the murder. Let's take a listen.
Detective, did you obtain emails regarding the victim's upcoming trip to Boston from his email account?
Please forgive me. Ms. Dago, can you lift up the projector? Because that's what keeping everything from going on.
Thank you. These trips, starting from Los Angeles to Boston and then on to Toronto before returning to Los Angeles, with him scheduled to leave on Saturday, January 28th of 2017 from Alicia Truesdale. Did you review that documentation?
Yes.
Your Honor, can I have this marked, please? This itinerary is People's 261. It's 2 pages in there.
Yes.
I was shocked to learn this. And I'm not even exaggerating. I was actually shocked to learn this, because this is why, and this solidifies my kind of theory in regards to why this murder had to take place within the time frame from the 22nd when Austin landed to the 24th. In that time frame, it had to happen, because maybe they couldn't afford to get Christopher down again to come and take this murder out, because it's just it seems like they needed Christopher Ford for this job, and I don't know why they couldn't just cut him loose and carry this out more thoroughly with the length of time they have left. The fact that, look at that length of time from the 28th, the Saturday, that's when he was due to fly out. They have 27th, 26th, 25th, 24th to carry this out. 4 days extra to sit back and think, okay, we need to re-strategize and make sure that this goes firmly, etc. That did not happen. That, to me, in my opinion, is the main reason why this was an opportunity, a murder of opportunity, and it just shows, at least there is not that, if you want to tie Monica into it, it shows that she was the one more inclined to carry this out, especially in light of everything that we know regarding how Baker was reacting to all of it, because he said, that's fine, don't worry about it, I'll just speak to her and it will all be sorted out. And then all of a sudden you have him go back and then try to persuade Austin to go back into committing this whole thing. So I want to write down on the whiteboard, which is Fabio travel 28th. I want to know what more can be filled with that void, but I do know that there was a lot of activity going on within that week, even though that he died anyway. Within that week, because it includes the insurance happening. I don't know, and I'm going on a hunch here. I don't know if the travel to Toronto was to change things around in regards to the benefits, or I have no idea whether he was seeking to make sweeping changes in regards to his relationship status with Monica. I have no idea, because I'm saying that because we got to hear testimony as well. I believe it was one of his close colleagues that he was having second thoughts and he wanted to move back to Toronto or something like that. That I can't remember the name of the witness, but he was one of the colleagues. If it comes back to me, I will refer back to it. I'm gonna have to quickly look into my notes because it just popped into my head at this point going through all of this. But yeah, let's go back into Missy's testimony, where she testified in regards to a jail call with in regards to a decisive testimony with Baker registering for the lifestyle lounge app, the swingers app that we've heard so much about, where Monica had to even go delete on the day of the murder. I believe it was even 2 minutes after. 2 minutes after the murder had actually occurred. I think 4:49 it was deleted after it was accessed. I don't know why the defense brought that in. Anyway, let's just listen to the testimony.
Regarding any activity on item number 121, regarding any activity or registration through an application called Lifestyle Lounge.
Yes.
And what, if anything, did you find based on records that were subpoenaed from Lifestyle Lounge?
That Robert Baker did have a Lifestyle Lounge account.
And that he was registered for that account in November of 2016?
Correct.
Thank you.
With a distinctive username.
And was it registered to his apartment on Independence?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have 7 pages related.
With a distinctive username. That's interesting. That is very interesting. And I want to know more about this because there is more testimony around this whole lifestyle lounge that we're going to hear when she comes back on, because she was recalled after this. She also played jail calls between Baker's sister and Baker, but there was nothing. I didn't find anything much in it. She also testified in regards to. The next witness was James Fillmore. There was not much evidentiary value from this testimony because it was just something about doing an autopsy and him attending an autopsy. I don't know what they were trying to achieve with this particular witness. Maybe they were trying to show that it wasn't a properly done investigation. I have no idea because I don't think it was even in dispute that this man had killed Fabio and the manner in which he was killed, but apparently they had to go into the autopsy thing. I don't know why that happened, but anyway, Mitzi Roberts came back into testimony. There was testimony in regards to Deborah Obad being mentioned in the follow-up calls from the jail call, in regards to the three-way conversation, her facilitating the three-way conversation. For those that don't know, Deborah Obad is a friend of the Sementillis. On the day of the murder, Jessica had babysat for her, and it was in that moment that she was babysitting. That's when her father Fabio was that's when he died. And when she got a call, I think she went back to the house. I think Deborah told her to go back to the house, and then I believe Deborah was also there. I think she is going to testify. I think she is going to testify as well. But again, in regards to me knowing whether the state has rested the case, I have no idea. But I will bet that they have. Anyway, moving on. Decisively though, despite all of that, in spite of all of that, Mitzi testified in regards to searches that Monica had made on the 12th, 21st of May, as well as 4th of June. Let's go and listen to that testimony really quickly, so that we can let me see. Hopefully I got the right one. Hopefully I'm not making that mistake again. Hopefully I got the right one. Let's go and listen to the testimony right now.
Top item number 88, was there also,
Again, it's over.
Yes.
and was some of those searches, were those occurring on May 21st of 2017 after Mr. Sementilli's murder?
That's correct.
Were there also various searches on February 12th of 2017 for secured online solutions for transferring large volumes of encrypted or sensitive data?
There was.
And was there also, even as late as June 4th of 2017, searches for lifestyle lounge and the chat feature, member chat ID information?
Yes.
Oh wow. So she does know. She does know how to use encrypted apps. So she does know that there was encryption and she was searching for how to get rid of these encryptions. Okay, so that's the knowledge part done. Now, the next part that we are gonna hear, hold up, let me go back into it because I went too far ahead. Hold up, I went too far ahead. Anyway, this is the part that I want, and this was when Baker was first mentioned, and this is when I got to learn exactly what his conviction was before he even took the stand. I was disgusted.
A prior conviction for the sexual assault of a minor, correct?
Yeah.
So he had a prior conviction for the sexual assault of a minor, correct?
Yes.
Now, in all fairness, how old was the minor, if you recall, about?
I don't, how is that fair?
Well, I mean,
Said in all fairness.
No. I guess what I'm saying is...
I don't think it's fair, whatever age.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
But is it, what was it, a 6 or 7 year old, or was it a teenager?
Teenager.
Okay, fine. Not, believe me,
right.
excusing that for a second. So, you had that.
What did he choose? What did he aim to achieve with that? What did he aim to actually achieve with that questioning? How old was it? Why does... Never mind.
In his background, did you investigate the number of wives or girlfriends he had before Miss Sementilli?
I'm going to check the relevance.
Hello.
Yeah, I wouldn't say investigate, but it was part of the material, part of the investigation. I was aware that he had 2, maybe 3 wives. He was involved in the porn industry. He managed girls. Dancers.
So he pornography and strip clubs and things of that nature were in his background, correct?
Correct.
And you learned that from talking to friends of his, correct?
Correct.
Some of whom testified in this case.
Yes, and you can Google. You can get a lot on Google too, and I think his name comes up on Google.
Okay, so we're gonna go into the next revealing part of because we are gonna go into Baker now. We are definitely there, but I want to first highlight the reasons why Mitzi considered Monica a suspect, because, and also more and more of the reasons why she considered a suspect, as well as what her activity was on the day that she was getting she was getting arrested. Let's listen to this, because I do think that this is when this testimony is it's crucial for a number of reasons, because it does tie it back to everything that we know and everything that has come out from the different testimonies in a way.
I want to preclude such questioning.
Maybe approach. You looked at evidence that only pointed to the defendant having an affair rather than being involved in the murder and conspiracy to kill her husband. You said you disagreed. You said that there was other evidence that included her. Can you tell us what other evidence you're referring to?
All the, I would say, incriminating statements in the overhears, the use of three-way calling, the pen pal system of sending jail mail to go undetected, the flushing, ripping apart and flushing of jail mail, the statements about wanting to change her name, the purchase of the brand new car, the statements that she was, you know, wanting to have a different life when this was all over. The massive amount of text messaging, phone calling, texting on encrypted apps, deletions of crucial apps, deletions of things on her cell phone when prior to her arrest, running or queries on the computer about collecting life insurance when somebody's murdered. The use of the message feature in the lifestyle lounge, using those apps, encrypted apps, and the messaging feature through lifestyle lounge during the day of the murder.
I'll summarize it. A whole F-ton of evidence, a mountain of evidence. This is if you want a proper meaning of the word mountain of evidence, this is it. I mean, this is the part that has, you know, really intrigued me about her defense and how they are going to do it, because this is, I mean, it's just, how do you actually fight? How do you actually defend against this? Not only how do you actually defend against this, but how do you sell the theory that Baker killed him without Monica's involvement when we already see that she was very involved? How do you spin that around to say that Baker was a stalker, and when Monica evidently has continued on a relationship and wants to be with this guy? Like, it's not disputed. It's in the jail calls that we all listen to. We haven't listened to, but it's there. It's in the initial jail calls that was revealed with Chris Gable. There's so much evidence that I'm really wondering why the state would lead the way that they did. So I'm really interested, and I'm really interested to see how they deliver on that theory. But I want to go into the final testimony, because she did mention the deletions, and she, you know, she gave testimony into further deletions that was made by Monica on the day, you know, that she was arrested. It just shows a pervasive pattern, a pattern of behavior that we are so accustomed to basically seeing from Monica. From Curtis Davis, you know, we heard that she was deleting the email. You know what? I'll just do that at the end.
The arrest on June 14th.
I looked into that, but I was not able to come up with that information.
I'm going to show you something. Where there's a red yes.
Yes.
In those boxes.
I do.
Let's see if we can make it bigger. Let me ask you, in terms of that column where there's the red yes, is that the column on the extraction through Celebrite that indicates the application and all of the entries were deleted?
Yes.
And that's for Lifestyle Lounge. The deletions, of course, we know she deleted Lifestyle Lounge. I don't know why she would delete it a second time, but it's because she deleted it the first time. And she deleted the first time on the day of the murder. She deleted the email, all the emails that was sent to Darren Arbol, but kept the 15,000 emails as revealed by Coerced Davis. She deleted the full searches from her browser history that was recovered by Ray. There's so many things that this girl has done to basically conceal her tracks and any traces. And again, I just want to know, how is she going to defend about how is this going to happen? I don't think she testified. But anyway, Missy also confirmed that Monica had expressed no concern about the people responsible for Fabio's death. So now, let's get on to Robert Baker's testimony. I cannot wait for this because this is where things took a turn for I don't know, it was a complete so I'm gonna go straight to his background and just let it run from there. I'm gonna kind of chop and screw this initial part, but he did go into the plea agreement, which we're not gonna go into, and then he testifies to his military background, which is very, very, very crucial to understanding what was going on with Detective Bardarama, as well as Christopher Gables, pertaining to the handwriting that they were doing, the handwriting deciphering, all those things that they were doing. Is very crucial to giving that knowledge. But throughout this whole testimony, I want you to pay attention to this woman. I want you to pay attention to her all through. And let me know if you see what I see, because I don't know if I can contain it. But
Upbringing.
You had a father and mother, they were with you?
Yes.
Any relatives, any brothers and sisters?
No, just me. I'm the only child.
All right. And at some point, did you come to Los Angeles, California?
Yes, as an Army recruiter.
Pardon?
As an Army recruiter, I came here.
Okay. So were you in the Army yourself?
Yes.
For what years? You remember?
From 81 to 94.
So 13 years?
Yeah, 13, 14 years.
Okay. And what was the highest rank you received?
I was a staff sergeant.
And were you stationed all over the country or overseas or what?
A little bit of both. A little bit of Atlanta, Georgia, Virginia, all over the place. I've been a whole bunch of places.
Did you consider yourself a good soldier?
Jack Nerona.
Oh, yeah, so real.
I was considered one of the best.
And when you retired, at what rank did you retire from the service?
I didn't retire.
So you're still a member of the armed services?
No, I'm out.
So how did you leave and why did you leave? First, how did you leave?
I just...
Dishonorable discharge. Say it. Dishonorable discharge.
Or why did you leave? Let me start with why did you leave the service?
That's a tricky question, but I'll answer honestly, since I answer it honestly. I caught another case, and I got put out of the military.
Okay. So let me ask you this. As you sit here now, have you ever been convicted of a felony?
Yes.
Can you tell us what felony that was?
I pled no contest to lewd lascivious acts with a minor.
Minor meaning someone under the age of 18?
Correct.
Can you tell us how old that individual was at the time?
15.
Okay. And did you serve time?
I did.
What are you trying to achieve with it? I get it. I get it. They have to, because the prosecution are gonna have a field day if they don't confront you immediately. I get it.
When you got out, were you on
I love this
parole?
title from Trial Channel. I love this title.
Yes, I was.
You understood that you had a...
The description is even funnier, because that's the first time I haven't seen Trial Channel put timestamps on the actual video. That's the first time I haven't seen her write down the background, anything to give information about Robert Baker. All she wrote is this idiot, and that's it. Classic.
And still do, I assume, a lifetime requirement to register as a sex offender, is that right?
That's the law.
Okay. And were you ever prosecuted for violating that law?
They chase me all the time, yes.
Okay. And were you ever punished or sentenced for additional time for that?
think I did 6 months. I think I did 6 months for time one time.
Okay. As a result of that conviction or those convictions, were you unable or were you discharged from the armed services?
Say that one more time.
As a result of the convictions, the felony conviction, were you discharged?
Oh, yes.
And what year was that about?
94.
And is that when you came to Los Angeles?
I was already in Los Angeles at the time.
Okay. And no longer serving in the armed services, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Can you briefly tell us what you
15 years old.
did for a living, what your employment was after you left the armed services?
After that, I worked retail, believe it or not. I worked retail, and after I got out of retail, I wound up getting involved in the entertainment business. Well, because it's going to come out anyway, the adult entertainment business.
Okay. And when you say the adult entertainment business, you're talking about legal pornography, shall we say?
Adult entertainment.
Okay.
Pornography is degradation.
Fair enough. And what did
You slept with a 15-year-old. It's kind of late to be doing the whole. I don't participate in that side of, adult entertainment because it's degrading.
exactly did you do in that field of work?
Well, at first, I was actually married at the time. I was
This guy
like
cares about his image. That's just the first part I wanna. He cares about his image a lot, but he also has he also has some values. Because there are some parts that will demonstrate values, but he definitely cares about his image, which is why I find it extremely. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm gonna expand more on why I say he cares about his image later on.
not domestic, and then I had it.
It is non-responsive.
What does that mean? So I won't make the same
Sir,
mistake.
just listen to the attorney answer his questions, please.
When did you first get married?
The first time?
Yes.
The very first time.
Very first time.
Back in 82.
Okay, you were still in the armed services?
Yes.
And you mind telling us the name of the person you married?
I'd rather not.
Okay. How long were you married to her?
4 years.
Okay. And who was your second wife?
I'd rather
Don't wanna
not mention
name
her
her?
name either.
Pardon?
I said I don't want to mention her name either.
Okay. Were you still in the armed services then?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier that he does have some kind of integrity because he likes to keep his previous partners private, which I can identify with that. I don't like to name, but I would say I've dated before in my past, but I wouldn't reveal the name of the person. Still though, just a mixed bag of a person.
And you get divorced from her?
Yes.
When did you begin in the adult entertainment business?
In 97.
Were you married at that time?
No, not legally.
Did you eventually marry someone that you were going with at that time?
No.
Okay. So when you got into the adult entertainment business, can you tell us what you initially did?
I was a performer with my partner.
So you were actually in the videos that were being made, correct?
Yes.
And when you say your partner, that is an actress who was also acting in the adult entertainment business, correct?
No, we came in together. She wasn't we came in the business together, so she wasn't there working. We came in at the same time.
Did you bring her into the business with you?
We agreed to come to the business together. Yes.
Okay, you were a team.
Yes.
And how old were you at that time, about?
29, maybe? 20, 30, no. 30, 31.
How old was she?
20.
Did you bring her into the business with you? In other words, she had to come with you as a team or you would not have been hired?
I sort of came with her,
Okay.
actually.
And you were making movies where? Here in Los Angeles or Chatsworth, wherever they made movies?
Yeah. Yes.
And for how long did you do that, Mr. Baker?
I performed probably about 4 years, maybe 4.
All with her?
Most of the time, yes, most of the time.
Did you ever get married to her?
We were married by, no, we weren't.
Okay.
Okay, I needed that information. It's gonna be it's gonna be important why that marriage distinction is important, because this has to, anyway. Go on.
So after the 4 years, what was your next field of employment?
You should ask who she was.
You really did?
What's his name?
I'm not sure I can do whatever you ask me to, but I'll ask you that question. What was her name?
It was the victim of my first case.
Why is he doing this?
Okay.
Oh, you can tell you can tell that Leonard Levine didn't want to ask that question or didn't want to go into too much of it, but he's the one that's insisting on it, and I don't know why, because it just seems to me that he wants to make himself look like he is the worst person on earth, and he wants to take. It reminds me of what Austin said in regards to him saying, "Put it all on me." Like, if anything happens to you, blame it all on me. It seems like he's doing that now. It just seems, because, I mean, yeah, it's repugnant. Like, he ends up marrying the girl that he made the SA victim, and this is also the same girl that went into the adult entertainment industry with him. They end up getting married at 20 or 19, around that time, I don't know.
So, without going into a lot of details, you originally had a relationship with this 15-year-old female, correct?
Yes.
You were charged and convicted of lewd acts or sexual acts with someone under the age of 18, correct?
Yes.
You served your time, correct?
Yes.
And when you got out, did you marry her?
We got together. Yes.
Did you ever get legally married?
No.
Okay. You don't want to state her name?
No.
Okay. So, how did you live together?
Yes.
How long did you live together with her?
After that time, about 5-6 years.
And where was this in relation to when you were performing as an adult actor?
In Los Angeles.
But
this is so bad. Oh gosh, this is. I mean, I see the play. I see what he's trying to do, because he's trying to, like I said, I think he's just trying to put everything on him, just so that he can get Monica out of this. Let's
okay.
The next part of the testimony that I'm skipping to is where he gave testimony around the Racquetball league that he has set up and how he got to meet Monica for the first time.
During the time that you were married to her, were you faithful to her?
Yes.
Okay. After you got divorced, then you began working at LA Fitness, is that right?
Right.
Okay. What was your first job there?
My only job there was I was a league director.
A league director?
A league, yeah. I was running a racquetball league.
Now, is this something you had done before?
No, never.
How'd you get into the racquetball league?
I'm a smart guy.
Okay. Well, did it? I won't comment on that. That was your first position at LA Fitness?
That's the first and only one.
Did you come up with the idea, or were they looking for a league manager?
Yeah, I knew everybody who played racquetball over there, so I knew everyone. So it kind of was an easy walk-in job to do. It was a hobby, more of a hobby job type thing.
But you were paid?
Yeah, I was paid.
Okay. And what were your duties as the league director?
My job was just to run the leagues within Woodland Hills club, or actually for LA Fitness, anybody who wanted to be in the league.
Is that where you were working when you first met Monica Sementilli?
Yes.
And how long, at some point you began seeing her in more than a platonic way, is that correct?
Correct.
How long after you first met her did you first begin a romantic or sexual relationship?
I don't have dates, or there's a couple.
Well, a few weeks, a few months, or...
A couple of weeks.
Okay.
A couple of weeks.
Were you seeing anybody else at the time?
Not steady.
But you were seeing other women?
Not really. Not really. I mean, not really. It's a complicated answer.
Just asking the questions, do the best you can, okay?
Yeah.
Did you play around, to use that term?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay. Had you made other acquaintances there, other people who worked there?
Oh, yes.
How did you first get involved with Miss Sementilli?
Well, she showed up for the racquetball league to let me know she was playing, and that's how I met her. And
did you know she was married?
Not at the very first day, but shortly thereafter I did. I did find out she was married.
In fact, did you meet her husband Fabio?
Eventually I did.
Okay. Did you meet any of her children?
Eventually I did.
And do you recall their names?
Yes.
What are they?
Is it safe to say it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Jessica and Isabel.
Okay. And did you meet them at the racquetball club at the LA Fitness?
I think I met the oldest one at the gym, and the youngest one somewhere. She never came to the gym, if I remember right.
So the oldest one was Jessica, correct?
Correct.
Did she play racquetball there at the gym?
No, she didn't play racquetball.
She didn't play at all?
Not that I remember, no.
Well, did her mother play, Monica?
Mother played, yeah.
So when they came to the gym, let's start with Jessica. What did she do there, if you remember?
She probably went out running on a treadmill or...
All right, that's a good point to transition to the next part of the testimony, where he does get into their relationship history, and this is the part where we get a bit of insight into why Monica decided to. Because I remember watching I saw a trailer for one of the documentaries that was done in regards to this particular case, and it was Mirella Sementilli saying that Monica had everything. You know, she had a good house, dental, all of these things. Why would she go ahead and throw that away? And you know, and they were giving background into how there were so many knocked up burglaries going on. So why would she do all of these things, etc.? I haven't seen the documentary, by the way. So just a trailer. So now we get to learn why that may have been the case, and this really intrigued me for a number of reasons.
Situation?
It was just a conversation first. We just had a conversation. We just talked, and it took a little while before we got involved. I don't have a timeline or nothing like that, but it took a little while, and I don't have timelines.
Okay. I assume you know the date of January 23, 2017?
I'm taking that's the day of the crime.
Yes.
Okay.
Day of the murder?
Yeah.
How long before then did you first begin seeing Monica Sementilli on a dating relationship, if we can put it that way?
I would say about roughly a year.
Right. And did that begin on just going to movies, coming to your place? How did that start?
Yeah, we went out to have some lunch or something, and we talked, and that's how it kind of started off. And then eventually it got a little bit more serious. Invited her to the apartment. Again, I don't have a timeline.
Okay. Eventually you engaged in sexual conduct with her?
Yes.
How often did you see Monica?
It was sporadic. It was scattered. It would all depended on her time, on her schedule.
Let me ask you a separate question, if I can. Do you know an app, phone app by the name of Viber, V-I-B-E-R?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us what your understanding of Viber was in 2015?
Viber was a text app that the whole world used to text each other.
All right. How was it different than, say, Apple or some other text device?
I wouldn't know. I used it because somebody introduced it to me months before that, or even a year before that. I liked it. I enjoyed it. So that's why I used it.
Can't suspect me. I was only using it because someone else introduced it to me and I was enjoying it. So that's why I used it. Nothing nefarious, no encrypted messages. It was just because I loved it.
That was before you even met Monica, is that
Why
correct?
is he over explaining this?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you use the app at that time for any reason of secrecy or keeping your communications private?
Never.
Did you ever discuss the Viber app or introduce Monica to it?
Actually, I did. If I remember right, I think I did.
And did you tell her that you were using it and that she should use it as well?
I told her I was using it. It was a fun app to use because you could do pictures and stuff. So yeah, I said, so I introduced her to it.
And to your knowledge, did she download it?
Yes, she did.
Okay, I got to write that down. That's gonna become important later. Okay, Baker introduced. I want to see how this domino will fall the next stage. Is Monica to Viber. Why laughing? Jesus, God, just listen to all this madness.
So why did you use Viber with Monica Sementilli as opposed to some other app?
That's the one I had been using for a while. So I've had it in my system for a while.
And how long after you had begun your romantic relationship with her did she download and start using the Viber app?
That I don't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have any clue.
Did you endeavor to keep the sexual relationship with Monica Sementilli secret?
I did.
And was that her desire as well?
Yes.
How did you go about keeping it secret?
Every way possible. Not letting anybody see anything, hear anything, detect anything. I did my best to keep it that way.
Would she still be playing racquetball at the LA Fitness while this was going on?
Yes.
And
weirdly enough, I actually believe him on this one, but that's only because I haven't seen anything contrary to not keeping it a secret. But I believe him on this one.
what about her daughters? Did they continue to go to LA Fitness while this was going on?
Yeah. Yes.
So we're now in 2016, is that correct?
Correct.
How often would you say that you saw Monica Sementilli during that period?
Again, it was very sporadic, so it could be once a week, once every 2 weeks, or 3 times a week. It all depends on who's doing what between the both of us.
And how did you determine who was doing what? In other words, how did you determine when you would see her?
She called the shots on that based on her schedule.
Oh, I saw the play because the first question did not give a favorable answer. So because what I was thinking that Leonard Levine was trying to achieve with that question of who was the one that was, trying to set this all up, he was hoping that Baker would say, I did it. But he turned it to say it was actually all of Monica. It was fragmented schedule. It was all over the place, and it would be on her say so. That wasn't great. So he re-angled everything, kind of, put a different spin on it. Then arrived back to the same question, which Baker did okay, and saying we would collaborate. We would sort it out. We would meet once a week, which was a good question. And then asked him again, and then it's him back on the it's her again back on the decision part, because I believe what they were asking or trying to achieve or trying to get out of him is to try and affirm that theory that he's the one that had all the power, and Monica was the helpless defenseless bird that was literally going along with everything that he says, then didn't want to anymore, and then he became dangerous. That's what I think that they were trying to achieve with that.
So how would you find out what her schedule was on any particular day?
Just usual conversation. Would tell me I got this going on. I'm going to Ralph's. I'm going here. I'm going to Starbucks. That type of thing. Or I'm free. I got this amount of time to see you. You know, it just varied. It just varied all over the place.
And did you also engage in that type of activity, trying to find out what she was doing by communicating with her?
Yeah, I let her talk. I just listened because she was pretty good about letting me know what was going on with her.
All right. Now, did she let you know what was going on with her on a steady basis?
Yeah, pretty much.
Every day of the week?
Not every. Yeah. If she can manage to call me or text me. Yeah.
Now, you knew her husband was working, correct?
Yeah, I did.
Did you know how he was employed at that time?
At the time when everything first started, I knew he worked. I didn't know what he did.
Well, didn't you ask her what her husband did?
No, not really. I mean, I knew he worked. I didn't ask because I really didn't care.
Well, how were you able to arrange to see her in secret if you didn't know how her husband or where he was working or when he was working?
You see how he has reframed everything, and now it's back on Baker having to take, well, I'm assuming that this particular answer to whatever question to this particular question has to be, Monica would give the info when he asked for it. Let's hear it though.
I trusted her to tell me.
Okay. There we go.
Husband or where he was working or when he was working.
I trusted her to tell me.
Okay.
Eventually, she told me, she explained it, but at first, no, I didn't know.
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't want to infer coaching. I don't want to infer all of those things. Like, but again, I've got to rate the lawyer because he is not. I mean, he's unpredictable. From what I'm seeing, he's very unpredictable. So the way he's asking the questions, and this answer at least nullifies or at least calms or soothes whatever was happening before, in regards to the testimony about, you know, she would decide everything. She would, like, that question as basically put him into the driving seat of, okay, he would, it wasn't certain at first, but now he did get to learn, which at least puts him in there to say he must have asked or must have done some kind of arranging at one point to even know about the husband's schedule, which I gotta admit is pretty smart question.
So tell me, just in summary, your day starts. Did you know ahead of time, like a week or a month, when you would be able to see her? Or was it a daily thing?
It was sometimes she would let me know he was going out of town if she knew in advance. Sometimes it was very sporadic, like she had a little bit of time. It just was all over the place, it's all over the place.
Was it your goal to keep this relationship secret?
Oh, absolutely.
There we go. Didn't get anywhere else. Didn't get anywhere to try and show that he was the one to control everything. Didn't get it. But again, I gotta rate the way he has handled, because I don't think he's handled the previous testimony as well. Maybe he's not good on cross, but the way he's handled all of this scenarios is, in my opinion, is good, because that's their theory. He's in control, and he's the one that he is the one that was orchestrating all this. When he didn't go to plan, he did what he did. Now let's go into testimony in regards to Alfred Birdsong, which I think we're gonna get to hear now that the defense is putting on their case in chief. Here is what he has to say in regards to how he got to meet Alfred Birdsong.
And Birdsong.
Alfred Birdsong.
Yes.
He has not testified in this case.
Okay.
Did you know Mr. Birdsong before you began seeing Monica Sementilli?
Yes.
And how long had you known Mr. Birdsong, or that, or when he first became your friend? Can you tell us that?
I met him in 1983.
You seem to remember that year. Was anything special about that?
It was my first year in Europe.
And where was he living at that time?
He was in Europe also. He just got assigned there.
He was in the...
I promised the jury a break. We're going to take our afternoon break in time for 15 minutes. The admonition applies.
A little bit.
Mr. Baker, we left off when you first, Monica Sementilli. You remember the first time you engaged in sexual acts with her?
I don't remember exact dates, no.
And I don't want dates, but do you remember where that occurred?
Yeah, in my apartment.
Okay. And can you tell us how that first began, how you knew that she was available or free or whatever?
Just being a man, being around for a while, you could tell if somebody's interested, likes you a lot. So it's just kind of a feeling, just a feeling.
Okay. So you had a feeling that she was interested in you sexually, correct?
In something, yes. So sexually, personally, something, for sure.
Right. And you felt the same way?
I did.
How did you communicate that to her?
By her being with me, just going to lunch with me and talking to me, and the laughing, the smiling. And,
so where would you go to lunch? What types of places?
Little restaurants around the gym, and that's mainly the same place, like little restaurants, little Thai places, little because I like Asian food, so we used to go there a lot.
Okay. And would you meet her there? Would you pick her up? Did she pick you up? How'd that work?
We would meet. We would meet. Most of the time we would meet. In the beginning we would meet because we didn't want to be seen in public together at the same time.
Was that her desire, yours, or both?
It was hers, and I agreed with her.
Did you agree to keep it secret?
I did.
But did you tell anybody that you had a girlfriend or someone on the side or anything like that?
No, not at first. It took a while. I waited a long while.
Well, how long a while would you estimate you waited before you let anyone know that you had someone on the side, so to speak?
I'm thinking about maybe 6 months, 8 months. It's just an estimate.
Okay. So would that have been before the end of the year or Christmas time, 2016?
Yes, before.
And the relationship began in 2016, is that what you said?
Right, I think.
About what month?
February, January, February, something like that. January, yeah, January.
Okay.
That's when I met her.
When you engaged in
That's when I met her.
I thought, so, you know what I'm saying, that you done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
Yeah.
I know you done fucked up, don't you?
He met her in January. Put a pin on that. We're definitely going to go back into that.
Sexual relations, where did that take place?
In my apartment.
And that was located where?
Canoga Park.
Would you meet there? Would you take her? Did she take you? How'd that work?
We'd meet there. I'd tell her where to go, where to park. She could park a car, just come up.
Remember the address?
Not anymore.
Street?
It's Independence.
Okay. What kind of vehicle were you driving at that time?
I was driving a Mustang or a Expedition.
Do you recall what kind of vehicle she was driving?
She's either driving a Mustang or a pickup truck.
And again, how did you communicate to let each other know you would meet somewhere?
Using texting, usually Viber,
Right.
or a phone call, a direct phone call.
Okay. But a direct phone call would be easy to trace, isn't that right?
Yeah, because there was really nothing going on, but...
What about when things started going on? Did you use just Viber or did you use other means?
Actually, not that you brought it up, we used Viber, because Viber had a phone. You can actually use their phone. They had a phone set up where you could use the phone itself on a system. Now that I thought of it, now when you said that, I just kicked in.
I'm not real clear on this because I don't know this stuff as well as others. Would you use your regular phone and then have the Viber app? Could you use that as a regular phone? Or?
Yes, that's what it was. So we used Viber a lot to talk too.
I mean, could you talk or did you have to send text messages?
You can do both on that app.
All right. And how did she get that app? Did you tell her how to do that?
Yeah, I told her to download it and how to use it.
When?
So, during that period, and you know that the murder of Fabio took place the following January, correct?
Okay.
So, were you seeing her about a year before he was murdered?
Yes.
Did she ever indicate to you that she was going to leave him for you?
We talked about it, and it didn't seem like it was gonna, it didn't seem like it was really gonna happen.
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't push it because I don't want to run her away.
So did she talk to you about, ever tell you that she would divorce her husband for you?
We touched on it lightly, but I could tell that she wasn't going to do that. That wasn't going to happen.
And eventually, did that become one of the reasons why you decided to murder him?
I murdered him because I wanted her.
Well, you kind of had her already, but not the way you wanted, or what?
Absolutely. I didn't have her the way I wanted her. I wanted to have easier access. I wanted her to be around me and with me.
This is why Bakers understand. We know just to remove Monica from the equation. If it's not obvious, it is obvious now. But what's more obvious are these annoying expressions that she is making with her face, as if we haven't seen the endless onslaught of pictures going where she is extremely happy to be with this guy, even after learning that this guy had killed her husband, even after learning that Baker's DNA was on the scene, even after learning that they were going to be in jail together, and they, at the October 17, 2017 hearing, when they were in the same cell, she didn't pull this face. Why are you pulling this face?
Did you go on dates with...
I hate fakes so much. I hate fakes. I hate them with a passion. Why are you doing this? There's no need.
Places with other friends of yours or friends of yours?
You mean dates, as in the romantic
Well,
dates?
did you go to dinner? When you went to dinner, was it always or lunch, was it always the two of you, or did you ever go with other friends of yours?
Eventually we did go with other friends of mine. You talking about with Monica, you talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Does Ron Ray ring a bell?
Who?
Ron Ray?
Yes.
Sheila Salikian?
Yes.
And Ricardo? Remember Ricardo?
Yes. Like
Matt
I said,
Nurse?
eventually. Who?
Matt Nurse? Remember him?
I didn't go on a date with him, but I do remember him.
No.
I mean, not a date with him, but with him to go.
So, you would go and take her on dates or events with your friends, but I take it never with her friends. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
All right. Is that because you wanted to keep it secret?
That's what I would assume.
Well,
I knew that's what it was. I knew that's what it was.
So at any time did she tell you that anyone else in her family or her friends knew about you?
No.
That's the way she wanted to keep it?
Yes.
So tell me how, on a typical day, you would make arrangements to see her. Would it be in advance, or would it be on a moment's notice on a daily basis?
So,
It could be either or. It depends on what was going on for the day. Like if it was an advanced thing, if she knew of something that he was doing something, or she was available for whatever reasons, because I'm fighting the schedule with her whole family. So, and then the other time when it's instant, it's more like, what are you doing? And how good morning, how you doing? I got some time here, I got some time there. It was kind of sporadic. It was all over the place.
In Los Angeles, was the sex always at your location, your residence?
For the most part, yeah. Well, yeah, for the most part, most of the time.
And who decided how the relationship would go? In other words, did you let her do her own thing? Were you the one who decided, or how did that work?
I guess we both kind of decided, really. We both decided. I mean, one would take the lead, I would take the lead. It's a relationship, it's a relationship.
Okay. Did you ever tell her what to do?
Well, sometimes, yeah, sometimes.
Give me an example.
Take your clothes off. Something like that. That's something I would tell her to do.
So crazy.
I mean, it just varies. It's just a feeling. It's just something you just feel at the moment. You know, it's just all kinds of stuff. Sometimes if you're talking about on a sexual basis, yes. But sometimes it's like, let's go here, let's go do this. Let's go work out, or let's go, you know. It depends on what subject you're talking about. What subject are you talking about?
Sexually.
All right. I narrowed it down.
Did you treat her the same way you had treated prior girlfriends or wives, or not?
Sometimes.
So describe how you treated her sexually in terms of what you would do.
In the beginning, it was, you know, it's just the traditional, you know, the traditional stuff that everybody does. And
did that lead to something else?
Well, it leads, you know, after a while you do the same old thing. After a while, it tends to get boring. So, you know, I would.
You're under oath, so.
I know. I'm watching my words. What I'm trying to do. I'm watching my words.
This guy is a bad witness.
It was all a feeling. It was all based on what was going on and how we felt. So sometimes I would say it would be from take your clothes off, or it could be from I want to see you naked in the car, or something like that. It just varied. It all varied how the feeling was, how she reacted, what I wanted, how I felt. If I felt like I wanted to, you know, it depends on the timing, what was going on, if we had time to do stuff. It all depends. It all depended on a lot of stuff.
Did you try to push the boundaries of what you were doing?
Boundaries?
In other words, would you order or tell her to have sex in public?
No, not in public. No. Not
Well,
in public.
outside of your house, for instance, or your residence, in the car.
Yeah, we've done that. We would do that. We would go to a restaurant and, you know, just be spontaneous and have sex in the car, or have sex on an off ramp, on an overwalks where you overwalk on a highway. It would be nobody there. I'm like, come here. I wanted to keep it different for her. I wanted her not to be the same old that everyone does. So.
Kind of fulfill her fantasies?
Well, yeah. I just wanted to feel her out, to see, you know, where she wanted to go. I wanted her to have fun with everything, not just sexually, just everything. Sex was part of it, but everything. I wanted her to enjoy her life, period. Sex was a small part of it.
What led you to believe she wasn't enjoying life up to that time?
It's so telling as well that he said, I want to choose my words, all of those things, because I don't know, it's like I said before, he cares about reputation, he cares about his image. So him saying that kind of signals to me that that he wants to help Monica, but he doesn't want to make himself look bad in the process. Also signals to me, again, it just makes seeing him testify to all this, I can understand why she would feel upset, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made this mistake, I can't believe I've done all this. It's not helping her in any way that she's reacting like this in the courtroom where people can see, especially after everything, after all the evidence that's come out. The best thing you can do right now, in my opinion, is to remain stoic and just not show any emotions. But with her acting like this and crying and doing all those things, we've seen you. We've heard the audio where the guy was even proposing and you were so happy. Even despite knowing. Why are you now angry at him?
Because when we went out and when I took her places, I can tell she had really enjoyed herself, and she wasn't working, or she didn't feel like she was under obligation doing the family thing. She could be herself, and it made me feel good to see that.
Did that include be yourself sexually?
That too. That too.
So was it your goal to fulfill her fantasies?
My goal was to make her happy, whatever that was.
No matter what?
Sexually, platonically, personally, everything. Everything. That was my goal.
So give me an example of where you would engage in some kind of sexual conduct, where outside of your residence?
Outside of a bar. We play pool. We'll go out to in the parking lot. She'll win a game. You know, she wins a game. I'll lose a game. She wins. She wins me. As stupid as that sounds.
The prize was some kind of sexual act the other one would perform, or what?
The prize is, the prize is me. You know, that's the, I mean, not a prize, but that's the prize. If she was happy, I'm happy. That's the bottom line on that.
Did you know at any time when her husband Fabio would be out of town on business?
Yes, she would let me know he was out of town so that we could spend a little bit more time together. But it was like never like overnighters or nothing like that, because she would never leave the house overnight like that.
So was there some time by which she had to be home every time you saw her?
She would always try to be home for her daughters.
Does that mean dinner time or some other time? What?
For whatever time it was, I guess it was dinner time or maybe school or just being home. She would tell me, I just want to be home for them when they get home. She would always tell me that.
So
and especially in the beginning.
So still important for her to keep it secret?
Yes.
So is it fair to say, at least in the beginning, there was no overnighters?
No overnighters, no.
Would she get home by dinner time? Was that one of the rules?
She would be home way before dinner, just to make sure she had dinner cooked and all that stuff.
Kind of two separate lives.
Yeah.
Did this ever evolve, and I'm talking about prior to the time that you killed Fabio, did this ever involve a trip out of town?
We took a, you said beforehand?
Before Fabio's death. Ever go to Vegas, for instance?
I think we did.
Okay. Who paid for that? Do you recall?
It was a combined thing.
And did you ever go, let me ask first, when you went to restaurants, for instance, in Los Angeles, at times did you go with friends of yours?
When all of us went together, you're saying? Is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
Like you and another couple?
Yeah, this was later down the line, yeah.
Okay. But we're still talking about prior to Fabio's murder.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'm with you.
Did you go out with other couples, friends of yours?
Just one.
Who?
Just Ricardo and Sheila.
Okay.
I think that's the only one.
And how would you tell them, or what would you tell them your relationship was with Monica?
That we were seeing each other. I had come to trust Ricardo and Sheila, and they were pretty good friends of mine, so I felt comfortable with that.
Did you tell them that she had a husband?
Yes. They knew that. They knew that.
Well, they only knew it if one of you told them, right?
Well, I think they knew that beforehand. I'm pretty sure, because I didn't have to tell them that. Because in the league, everybody knows everybody's business. So everybody kind of knew that Monica was married already.
Okay. But did everybody know that she was seeing you?
No.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
So, you know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
You know you done fucked up, don't you?
That is bizarre for so many reasons, because we heard from Sheila. We literally heard from Sheila about this. We literally heard from her that Monica introduced Baker to him, and Baker and her were dating. Like, she said that. I have to throw back her testimony. I did not see that coming. I actually did not know this now.
How often during a week would you see her, if you can put a number on that? Or did that vary?
It varied a lot. It varied. Sometimes I wouldn't see her at all. Sometimes I'll see her 3 times a week. It was sporadic.
Now, during that time, I assume you told her you were faithful to her?
Yes.
Were you?
I was.
So at any time during your relationship with her, and I'm talking about before or after the murder of her husband, did you ever cheat on her?
No, I didn't.
So they were exclusive at this point.
You were not seeing anybody else on the side?
No, from the time I met her and I got in a relationship with her, I didn't go outside of anything of her.
Interesting.
Did you use more than one email address or phone number or anything of that nature during the time that you were seeing her to keep it secret?
I did.
Tell us what you did to do that.
Well, the emails and texts, hang on, the emails I use sometimes were just so they won't be mine. So they won't be mine, I would use.
They're getting to the Diane Arbol email that we talked about from Jake Gibson's testimony. Diane Arbol.
Different emails. I had a whole bunch of emails for this business, for personal stuff, all kind of stuff. So it all depends. But for her, I use a different email at times. Let me see. The text stayed the same. The Viber stayed the same. Yeah, it's just the emails. Just
More
the
than
emails.
one phone, or just always one phone, or what?
I use the same phone with her. With her, I use the same phone.
What about with others?
Other people, I had another phone. I always keep an extra phone. I always kept it.
So, did you have one phone for her?
It was my regular phone, the one I use for everyday use, yeah. And I had another phone which I kept as a possible throwaway for anything, just for anything. It doesn't mean I was doing anything criminal at the time. It just kept an extra phone.
Did you ever go to her house?
Yes.
And I'm talking about before Fabio's murder.
Yes.
Can you tell us the first time and when that might have been?
I don't remember.
Why did you go to her house?
To see her, of course, to see her.
How did you know no one else would be home?
Because she would let me know that nobody's home.
Did you ever run and go there when someone else was there?
I don't know. I don't
Ever sleep over there and get caught by one of her daughters?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that. How did that happen?
That should have, I don't know. Maybe that should have been objected for leading, but let me move on.
Got drunk. I got drunk.
With her or without her?
No, just me.
Okay.
Just me. I was drunk. Couldn't drive. She asked me to stay. Oh, she didn't want me to go home. And she said if I stay quiet, I could just stay out, sleep it off there.
So you were at her house that day?
That night. It was a night. I think it was a night or something.
Where were her kids and husband?
I'm thinking maybe Fabio was out of town. I'm not sure.
And her daughters?
And I don't know, because Jessica walked in when I saw her get up, and she screamed and I screamed at the same time. And
in the morning?
It was in the morning.
And do you know what was told to her to explain why you were there?
I wasn't told.
Did you get out? Get out of there?
Yes, I did. I let her know that, I let Monica know that we had a little accident, that she came in the room, Jessica came in the room, and I just went ahead and left.
Where was Jessica at that time? Was she still there?
Yeah, no, she left. She left the room. She said, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and she walked out. So I'm sorry too, and I got,
Did you tell her any story, or I leave that to Monica?
I didn't talk to her.
So you left?
Yeah.
Any other times that you were at her house before the murder?
Before the murder? Maybe once or twice more. I'm not sure how many times, but a couple of times, once or twice more.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Baker. In your communications with Monica Sementilli, did you ever ask her or tell her to send you any kind of explicit or nude or so-called related photographs?
I did.
Give me an example.
Okay. I would say, "You're beautiful. Send me a picture of yourself, because you're beautiful to me." And so I let her be, and she said, "Like what?" I said, "Be creative. Think of something." I said, so send whatever you want. It's just sexting. That's all it is. It was just sexting, just to keep it interesting.
All right.
So she would send me what she wanted to send me.
Did she do so?
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
And without being necessarily too explicit, can you tell us what kind of photos they were? Was she dressed? Was she nude? Was she...
Both. They were both.
And how were they communicated to you?
They were either sent by Viber, because Viber is a good way to send pictures. It's the best way to send pictures, is Viber.
And when you got them and opened them, were you able to save them or delete them, or what would you do with them?
Some I'd save, some I'd just throw away, because just to get her to feel herself and enjoy herself, and I wanted her to feel good about herself, because she was beautiful to me.
And that's the way you want her to feel good about herself, being free sexually?
That's one of the ways. There's more ways than just that.
Did she always
This is so bad. Why are you pulling this face?
Requests or demands?
Most of the time.
Did you ever tell her what would happen if she didn't?
I would never threaten her or nothing like that. I mean, I guess she could read my face or read. She kind of reads my face and see if I'm disappointed or not. And I guess she doesn't want me to be disappointed, so she'll do her best to, do what I ask her to do, or stuff like that. But yeah, there's no threats or nothing like that.
I don't mean physical threats, but disappointment or anything of that nature.
Like she probably saw my disappointment or saw me unhappy, or because sometimes I would do stuff to keep it interesting, and I would kind of set stuff up, and sometimes a lot of alcohol is involved, because she's a very stubborn person at times, so the alcohol kind of loosens that up a little bit.
Well, was she a regular drinker with you?
It depends. If we were going out someplace, I wanted her to loosen up. I wanted her to kind of relax a little bit. So I would let her drink a little bit, get her relaxed and have some fun.
Now the script's coming in. Okay, here it is. The I'm sorry for sounding biased, but I just know that this is BS, because based on the evidence coming out so far, I saw this coming. Like, this was their only play. This was the defense only play, and I didn't expect Baker to be putting up what he's putting up now, because I can tell there's I can't wait for his cross. I just can't wait. I can tell that there is so much inconsistencies going on here, and I can't wait to just record bit by bit of what's going on his cross-examination when he's back on the stand, because now you have the theory of Monica being the helpless, being coerced into all of this is now in full effect, because getting her drunk would act to that coercion aspect. Also, you have the added element that she was stubborn, so therefore he did try to get her to be with him, but because of not wanting to lose her, he would try these tactics. That's the impression you're receiving from his testimony. But again, how believable is it? That's the part. Obviously we know the verdict, so likely the jury were not persuaded by it, but I would have loved to try and guess in real time how believable this testimony is, because I just don't find it credible for some reason. I don't know why I don't find it credible. I just don't know why I don't find it credible. Maybe because there's already 2 instances where it's just inconsistent with what we've heard so far. Maybe that's the case.
Was she able to hold her alcohol or not, according to, in your opinion?
She can hold her alcohol, but she still, you could tell there's a difference, because she would really loosen up and start laughing a lot more and get a little looser, and she wouldn't be so tense.
Would this be in public?
It would be everywhere. At my place, in public. We went out. We went, like I said, we went to restaurants. We went to bars. Went to play pool, played racquetball. I mean, everywhere. We did everything. Did
you ever interact with other people at those locations?
Yes.
Give me an example.
Well, we'll go to a bar or a club, and I would tell her, I'm not a dancer. She's a dancer. She can dance. I want her to go out there and dance and sing, and I'll tell her, if someone asks you to dance, feel free. I have no problem with it. I'm not that, I'm not the jealous type. And go have fun. And she would just go out there and have fun. Didn't care who was dancing with her. She would just dance and have a good time.
I do think that this part reveals a lot about Monica and the reason why she found this guy attractive. Because if you remember back to episode 3 or 4, I believe when I was going through the studies in regards to why people cheat, etc., I believe one of the reasons was because of the main reason was more for mate, because they wanted to trade into another partner. But the more prevalent reason was relationship dissatisfaction. And I'm only saying this because I got to hear a bit of her sister's testimony. I think her name is Anna something. I can't remember the last name. But I got to hear a bit of her sister's testimony about what she revealed about Fabio. So in regards to him being the jealous type, I'm going to go a bit more. I will comment a bit more when I get to her testimony. But that information, I can't help but parallel that information and put it side by side with what he's testifying to and how much freedom he let Monica have, which maybe explains why she was able to go with it for so long and be with him for so long. And then kind of puts this theory that they have, at least their version, it puts it and tries to give the impression that because she was so dissatisfied in the relationship, that she could go along with something that he was able to do. I don't know how they're gonna land it because it still implicates her anyway. Like, I don't know how they're gonna land it, but I'm guessing that they're going for a coercion theory.
So whoever it was, that's what would happen.
And what about her engaging in public in any kind of sexual way with somebody? Did you ever tell her to do that?
In public?
Well, outside of your residence.
Oh, okay.
On the street, in a bar, booth, car, anything of that nature.
I had set up some things to find out whether or not she'd be willing to try anything like that. And I got her a little bit drunk.
Like a threesome, you mean?
No, it wasn't a threesome. It was something simple. I just wanted to see how she'd react a little bit. And I wanted to see if she'd be okay. And I got a little bit drunk beforehand. And I told her I'd set up a little massage for her, just to see how she reacts. Early on, just to see how she reacts.
So what happened?
And the massage went great, you know.
Who had the massage?
She did.
From who?
Somebody I hired to do it.
And where did that take place?
At the guy's place who was doing it.
All right.
So I'm trying to remember.
Were you present?
Was I present?
Yes.
Yes, I was, just to make sure everything was smooth, because she decided she didn't want to do it, or she couldn't go, you know, she didn't want the massage or something like that, and I just wanted her comfortable. And I know if I'm around, she's gonna be comfortable with it. But she was comfortable because I had given her, you know, I gave her some wine to drink before we started.
Did that involve any sexual conduct between her and the masseuse? Masseur?
She's a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman, and I told her, masseur, I said, you know, whatever you guys do, that's on you guys. So he wanted to push it, and because I could tell he was excited. So, and she was already kind of under the influence of alcohol, so it kind of flowed that way.
Was alcohol always involved in your
no
sexual acts?
No.
Exploits?
No. Sometimes it was just me and her, just not doing nothing.
What about when you involved others? Did you have to get her drunk first?
That was rare.
Okay, so after this testimony, this is the end of his testimony, because I think the next witness for that next week, I believe it was the sister that came up to testify. So it wasn't really. We're gonna explore her testimony next week. So we'll definitely end it there. But before we do end it, I don't wanna leave without providing some context to what he's saying, because Jesus Christ, I know he's been lying. So I want to go through a quick recap of literal everything that has been raised in his testimony, because I cannot help but correct a little bit of some of the misinfo that has come out of his mouth, because the first time I want to go into the testimony of Curtis Davis. This was the first time in which we learn anyway. I don't know. I don't think there's any more information that's come up in regards to him telling other people about Monica, but this is the first time I got to learn about it. We got to learn about it, sorry. And it was speaking with Roberts, with Spence on the 3rd of November. And then from Spence, it was Ron Ray, I believe. Ron Ray, he gone on to testify. We heard from Ron Ray, I believe on episode 8 or something, or 9, I believe 1 or 2, episode 8. And this is when, around this time, he began to tell people about the relationship. So he says it started on January, first and foremost. So that'll be 10 months. But he also said it was actually 6 months, because that's when he got to meet, I forgot the other guy's name. Forgot his name. James Brown or something Brown. I forgot. It's not James Brown, but I just literally forgot his name. I cannot. But he met her as Madonna, and that was in July 2016. So you can say that's when he got to meet. He got to tell other people about Monica. So you also have Monica's picture being in the Dropbox that was testified to by Curtis Davis. Just quickly, let's listen to it.
Viber usage with respect to Baker's Samsung S4. What did you capture here?
This is another artifact. This one is from Mr. Baker's Samsung S4. It shows that Viber was in use on that device going all the way back to 2015.
So he's telling the truth about that. They were using he was using Viber since 2015. However, this is the part that was fatal for Monica Sementilli in regards to her involvement, because you can't get around this. You just can't get around this.
Mail.com in the lower left, we know that's associated with Mrs. Sementilli, forwarded the first digital surveillance email. It then lands at the Diane@arball1.com email address, and then is automatically forwarded to the Rob@oeg1.com email address, and finally lands in the oeginc@gmail.com account associated with Mr. Baker.
Okay.
That's like, I'm sorry, I don't know how you can separate that, but remember, in regards to the whole Dropbox thing, in regards to the whole Viber thing, I want to go to Cyray's testimony, because this testimony it just puts it all to bed, because there is no way that he was the one to just, like, this is why I said I want to know when did you do this, because this is what he testified to in regards to the communications between Monica and Baker.
People's 255. What did you indicate here in this chart?
So I was talking about the Viber records, and what I want to show here is we know that there was a handful of communications in December. Here I've got 10. In January, we see that number of 10 grow to 188, and in February it's up over 5,000. March is 7,000. Then we get to April and we see 2,600.
So an increase of Viber activity. He says he was the one that introduced Monica to Viber, which I think could be plausible, but 3 months into the affair, and you guys start using Viber, which he does testify to happens in April. Let's listen.
And then you can see the rest of the year significantly drops off. The defendant and Mr. Baker both downloaded the app Viber in April, and where we see that peak at 2,600, as soon as the Viber app is loaded on both of their phones, we see these text message almost all but stopped because all the communication has now been moved over to the Viber platform.
Okay.
You sit on a throne of lies. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I cannot express to you how much that testimony is so key, because he says he's always had Viber, but yet both of these guys have been talking on normal SMS. We've always known this, by the way, because we went through Cyrus maybe before Baker, but the fact that he has the goal to go out and say he was the one, and there was nothing nefarious about it. They both downloaded Viber, and the most important part of this testimony, I'm not gonna play, but is the fact that Viber launched their encryption service around this time. So why would they suddenly decide to go with this? And this is the part I will give a bit of grace here. This is probably because they wanted to keep this thing a secret. So his testimony does help with that element. It does at least remove that premeditation element that they probably started planning to kill Robert Baker at this point. The only part that doesn't help them, because I do remember testimony, I have to dig this one back up. I have to look back into my notes really hard, because I don't think I wrote this down. But it was a download. I believe it was Curtis Davis. It was a download from Baker on, I think it was August, on Viber. Something, it was a Viber download. I don't know why that would happen, and there was also a spike of activity or something around June around Monica Sementilli's home. I have no idea, but I do think that one, I do remember that one. I think it was pertaining to when Jessica had found out about Robert Baker, and they were in the house. I think that's what that was indicative of. But definitely, in regards to this Viber thing, I have to investigate further, because I don't know why he would have to re-download Viber if they were already on Viber. Why this moment? Because with all the context that we have now, especially with Mitzi Roberts giving testimony about Birdsong, Austin, all of them meeting in Vegas, and the setup activity putting him there. That testimony now reframes all of this, because the need to download, I don't know. Again, I don't know why he would re-download Viber, but that would now form the intent part, that this is when the whole plan was in motion, because that same time frame is when she had installed the cameras, the new DVR system that could be remotely controlled. I have to definitely 100% go back and watch that testimony to see whether there is, that whole Viber download. But that just popped into my head now, and I just remembered in terms of customary. But anyway, my final thoughts in regards to all of this is that as we now going over to the defense case and chief, as they're gonna present it, we have to highlight a couple of evidence that has really stuck out. New information that wasn't included in the opening statements, because it was a very long opening statement. It wasn't included in the opening statements was the evidence of Baker pretending to be a cop from New Orleans that we got to learn from Miss Burlingame's testimony. I forgot her first name. I'm bad with names. I'm just gonna be straight up. I'm really bad with names. And then we also got to hear about the testimony from Cesar Aviles, who was a car dealer, that said that Monica basically came in to give Fabio's, I think it was Fabio's Porsche or something like that. I don't know. One of his old Explorer, one of Fabio's old vehicles. He came And basically, she said that Fabio had got killed in that car, so she cannot continue to drive it. Heartless. And I mean literally heartless, especially in light with what Austin had basically testified to about her not liking him and wanting him out of the picture. That bolsters that. And also, we got to hear from all of this that there was the first attempt on Fabio Sementilli's life back on the 22nd of January 2017. That's literally all there is. And with all these bad facts around, corroborated a lot by forensic evidence, it's not even just eyewitness testimonies, it's real, tangible evidence that you can see for yourself. Every action that she makes, every pattern, it's unfathomable how their defense is going to work, but I want to see it try. I want to see how it plays out. So we only have 9 days left of this trial. 9 days left, and I really am interested to see how the defense strategizes from it, because to me it seems like it's her own undoing. It's literally her own I want to say greed, because I think that's what led it here, but callousness, I think that's too much, but definitely it's her own greed, want, that led her here to and put her into this unwinnable position that I think it's unwinnable. I don't know what kind of theory that you can present to me that might split my mind and be like, oh, maybe that verdict is wrong. I have no idea, because to me, it seems this is the type of evidence I want the prosecution to bring. Anything else, yeah, anything else, like if the defense got out of this, I'll be like, they know, they really did their job. This is it. But nonetheless, I just want to say shout out to everyone that have tuned in for today's show. I really do appreciate you. I just want to say also, head over to the Ketchup Court website. If you, we have our trial reports that we do for the trials that we do cover on here. I think it's over here on the Ketchup Court website. You can find out all the reports on any trial that we cover. It's called the Hines Report. It helps you catch up with the case literally, which quickly as possible. It's all there. This is from the Anna Walsh coverage. I'm doing a full trial recap of what has been happening in that case. I'll be uploading more. Reports once I finish recording and editing. It'll all be uploaded. So if you guys, it's there for you. It's there for you guys. It's perfect if you wanna just basically if you just wanna map out on research into the case yourself, or if you just wanna cover the case and you just need to find the information quick, it will definitely save you time with putting everything together to do whatever you need to do with the report. It's literally all for you. Also consider support. Consider also suggesting a case, and let me know if you have a case in mind that you think, hey, I want you to take a look at it. Hit me up on hines@ketchupcourt.info, or just simply fill out the form. Whatever you fancy, it's all there. Before I go, I just want to look at. I just want to say, definitely, I will do the poll again next week. I will also, because I didn't get enough votes this time around, I will also put the poll up in the community tab section. Anyways, I just want to end it there. Thank you, every single one of you, for tuning in. And if you're watching this back on replay, I hope the sound is a lot better this time. Apparently, it was a system issue rather than an actual filter pop issue. So hopefully, I have fixed it this time around, and I've been able to make it a much better sound. Let me know what you think of the show in the comment section. Shout out to everyone that have tuned in. If you have tuned in, Maybe you are one of those lurkers. I would never know. I would never know. But yeah, I appreciate every single one of you. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next week when we're going into the defense of Monica Sementilli and see what they have to show. See how they defend this case and get your thoughts and views on all of it. I go by the name of Hines, your friendly neighborhood ketchup man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take good care of yourself. See you next time. Bye for now. Thank you everyone for tuning in for another Ketchup Court live stream. Make sure that you smash that like button as well as hitting that subscribe button to be notified of our future live streams. We go live regularly, bringing you case updates and recaps of ongoing trials. So make sure you hurry back on the next live stream. We also have more content on the channel that you can binge on. Check out the playlist that we have showcasing all of these contents. Without further, I go by the name of Hines, your friendly neighborhood ketchup man, and I'll see you back in court.